Hello, my dearest confidant. So recently I had someone talk to me about how to um, deal with and start to uncover the self-defense mechanism of compartmentalization, right? Compartmentalization, and I wrote it down so that way I can make sure I got the definition right. It's a defense mechanism in which people mentally separate conflicting thoughts, emotions, or experiences to avoid the discomfort of contradiction. And so that can also go into relationships with others, right? So, like, I don't want to talk about the fact that you and I have conflicting ideas about X. And so, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this thought over here and I'm not going to talk about it with you. I'm not going to bring it up at all. So that way I can preserve this relationship right here, right? And so, compartmentalizing things can be beneficial. Like if you have to be a certain way at work because of the nature of your job, like say you're a psychologist, for instance, you can't bring that stuff home with you and talk about it with your family because there's the patient confidentiality thing, right? And so, yes, of course, there's ways around that. We're not going into that. But that's different than me purposefully saying, okay, I'm not going to talk about this anymore. I'm going to put this over here so I don't have to deal with the emotions, the possible drama, the possible conflict, the possible negatively associated emotions and thoughts that go along with this idea. And in reality, it's about you not feeling enough self-worth to say, if I disagree with this topic or this experience or this version of reality that this person has, if I disagree with it, it's not worth I'm not worth the disagreement, right? Because they're going to walk away from me, or they're going to not want to talk to me again, or they're going to abandon me. And so in reality, you're choosing a possibly toxic situation in the long run, especially when you're talking about really one-sided relationships, right? A lot of the times we develop compartmentalization defense mechanisms when we have a primary caregiver when we're very young and impressionable that denies our reality, that causes chaos in the home when we bring up something that goes outside of what they know or believe. And so we learn to quiet ourselves down and dumb it down and put it to the side so that way we don't have to feel unsafe as a small child. And so when you bring that into adulthood, especially if you're aware of it, right? If you're aware that you compartmentalize things, someone's told you that, or you just realize, like, every time this comes up, man, I just don't want to think about it, so it goes to the side. Like, that's you going back to that, I don't feel safe, right? I don't want this to become what has happened to me in the past. And so instead of forging a new way forward, you're now making a conscious choice that I want to protect this relationship experience, reality at all costs. And in the long run, you're really, the cost is your growth, your happiness, your joy. And it's at that point when you're conscious of it, it's your own choice, right? It's your own fault that you are not experiencing the best relationships in your life. And that can be a hard pill to swallow, but it's one that's worth talking about because a lot of people won't go down that hole and actually tell you some of the things that I'm saying, right? It's just, you have to want more for yourself. Like, you're worth it. You deserve the best relationships possible if you believe that you deserve them. And that's really what it's about, your own self-esteem. And if you get to a point where you're tired of, oh, here we go with the same, they're bringing this topic up again. If you don't have boundaries in place, that topic's going to continue to come up because they don't necessarily have the same compartmentalization or passive aggressive or passive tendencies that you do. And so you're going to continue to have a tumultuous relationship with those individuals until you decide that that's not what I want anymore. And so this is another reason why boundaries are important. This is another reason why I'm doing this series. I do not believe that I had serious issues with compartmentalization, except for, a few videos ago around Mother's Day, I had said that, I thought that my really tumultuous relationship was with my father. But then, after his passing, I realized that that was misdirection, that was gaslighting, and I can't think of the word right now, manipulation that my mom had done to me, and, brainwashed me essentially into thinking that that's what it was. And so now that I'm actually aware of the real chaotic caregiver relationship, now I'm able to effectively reparent myself into understanding why I believe the things that I believe and how to consciously choose differently. And that's what I want for you. And so that's why I'm doing this series. And so think about the ways that you compartmentalize in your life when a situation comes up that you don't want to deal with, and you store it away. You're just delaying the pain because eventually it's going to come back. And you can either choose to confront the issue or choose to be hurt every single time you have conflict or supposed conflict with someone else. So I hope this is helpful for you, my dearest confidant. I love you, and until next time.